Here's what's coming up next on the Create Happy Now podcast with the return of one of my VIP guests, Christina Stuart. She is a giggler extraordinaire and a soul seer. She spreads joy even when times are tough. See what her secret sauce is for mastering happiness.
Oh, it was so nice to just watch you walk around earlier. Like, okay. She says, you just look so calm. And it was just so refreshing to just watch you, that aura around you was just calmness. And I laughed because I'm a giggler. So I said, yeah, I bet you're probably not seeing very much of that lately. There was such a heightened fear and level of anxiety that it's palpable. When I go out as an empath, oh my God, I feel everybody's everything.
Welcome to the Create Happy Now podcast, dedicated to helping you start your journey to discover true happiness. Join me, your host, Susan Blanton, weekly as we explore the transformation stories and words of wisdom from our masters of happiness with tips you can start applying today to create happy now. I have Christina Stuart back on the show. She is an international speaker and award-winning photojournalist of over 20 years, a giggler extraordinaire, and a soul seer. Her laugh is contagious, as is her eternally optimistic attitude. Even as a survivor of childhood molestation, rape, and domestic violence, Christina finds the gifts in all of life's experiences. She brings light and love to everyone she meets. Christina works with people on a soul level to help shine a light on their personal growth to happiness, healing, and self-love. She dives deep into the darkness of her clients' experiences and brings them out laughing and shining brightly. She befriends the monsters under the bed and the boogeyman in the closet and the ghosts of our past that are keeping us from true self-love, wealth, and joy. Thank you so much, Christina, for coming back on the show again. It's so wonderful to have you again. I wanted to just kind of start out to tell the listeners a little bit more, kind of a deep dive about your journey.
Well, again, Susan, thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited to share in this experience, and I'm honored that you've chosen me to share with you.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to have you.
Thank you. You are welcome. I love the idea. I love your mission. And, the more happiness we can bring, the better place we have to live. So, well, a little bit more about me, as you said in my bio, thank you so much, is that I was molested when I was 9. I was raped when I was 12, and I had a domestic violence situation with an ex-boyfriend who spent 3 months in jail because of it.
Wow.
And with all those experiences, I could have just sunk into the trauma, sunk into that darkness and wallowed in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there were probably parts of my life when I did, but really, I've always had that eternally optimistic attitude about life, that every experience that I've had, every person who's come into my life, every choice I've made, I'm proud of, because it's brought me to who I am today and who I'm becoming. And I'm really proud of who I am, and I'm super excited to meet the person I'm becoming. So, yeah, to look at each of those experiences with, what can I learn? What are the gifts in this experience? What are the gifts in the person who came into my life and helped create or co-create that experience? And that, and really that was my survival mechanism, to keep myself sane, to keep myself moving forward, to keep searching for my dreams and making them come true. I used to get on my progress reports in school that I daydreamed too much and I talked too much. Look now, I'm an international speaker, and I love sharing my mission and supporting people and helping them to find their soul's purpose and happiness. And after the ex-boyfriend attacked me in 2014, I believe it was, I went internal. I thought, you know what? I do not want to ever experience something like that again. ever. So what do I need to do? What do I need to change? What was in me that attracted someone like that and that kind of experience into my life? And I hermited myself really for a couple months. I read, I looked at, just meditated, connected to source, looking for guidance and support, and was really amazed by what came out, what I came out with, and just choosing to look internal. What was happening in me? What could I change? What was the belief structure and patterns that were helping create a situation like that? And, we know what we don't want pretty strongly. So
sometimes we just keep attracting that because that's what we're focusing on.
Exactly. That's what we focus on expands. And so instead of focusing on what we don't want, shifting it to, okay, if that's what I don't want, what is the opposite of that? What is it that I really do want? What's the kind of relationship, friendship, whatever it is you're looking for? What's the complete opposite of that? And that's what I did, was just, okay, what do I really want? And focusing on that. And I opened myself up for help. I asked the universe, I said, I need help, and I'm open to receiving it. So there's a difference in asking for help. We ask for things all the time.
Right.
But we aren't open to receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, so many people are like, well, I asked, or I prayed, or I tried to manifest. That doesn't work. Well, if you're saying that means you're going, yes, please let me have it. Oh, never mind. Right? Like, I don't really want it, or I don't want it the way you're giving it to me, God, source, universe. And so if we shift our mindset to, I'm open, I know I need the help, I don't know what to do next, it shows up because I was open to receiving it. So I got coaches and mentors and friends, and I, at the time, had a mantra that, because I knew what I didn't want, surrounded by happy, healthy people making a positive impact on the world. I am surrounded by happy, healthy people making a positive impact on the world. I said that, it flows right out of my mouth now, and it's been 10 years, not 10 years, but and that's what I ended up surrounded by. One day I looked around and I went, here it is. Like, these are the people. I know that I could ask any one of these people for help and they would give it to me. So by being open to receiving that help and shifting my mindset, focusing on what I wanted versus what I didn't want, things started showing up. The helpers, the people, the mentors, the books that helped and guided me, the trainings that became available, and just the healing that happened has been unbelievable. And so now I've put myself in a position where I can pull from all of those tools that I've learned and applied and help my clients with that, and really getting connected on a soul level to find out what is the source, where's my purpose, where do I go from here, is really just pretty awesomely amazing.
So now you are a soul seer. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's super fun. Well, my whole life I've been a receiver of information, and I've had dreams and premonitions and all kinds of, woo-woo weird stuff that I didn't quite understand, and I thought everybody else was like that. And once I opened up even more to receiving the guidance and help, more of that kind of experience and talents and skills just naturally amplified. And I see it most in my photography. Being a photojournalist for over 20 years, I've had, just about every client has told me, wow, you really see into my soul.
Wow.
Yeah, right? And at first I was like, I'm just a photographer. I don't know what you're talking about.
So it was unconscious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My whole life was that way. I was an empath. I knew, I felt everybody's stuff, but really to develop it. And photography helped me do that. And now I've taken that and amplified it to a really soul connection, and teaching other people how to get connected with their soul and find those answers in their soul's purpose. So being able to see, one of my fabulous gifts that I'm so grateful for is having gone through all of those traumatic experiences and experiencing what darkness really feels like, and constantly seeing a light somewhere. May not have been the end of the tunnel, but it may have been a little flicker of a something. I always see the light. And so what I'm able to do now is I'm comfortable in the darkness, but I don't wallow in it. So I can help people who are there or who, need to heal some of those experiences, find that light and help them kind of light their path, just be there as support to help them light that path. And so that's what I mean by being a soul seer. I see people on a soul level and connect with them so deeply, with permission, of course, that I help them, their own true light shine, and just allow them to bring that into the world.
So with that being said, with all the stuff we're going through with COVID, how did you stay calm and centered throughout all the chaos we've been going through?
You know what? I am so grateful that I've done this work. I can't imagine going through this experience without having some sort of modality to connect and ground and be centered and continue to stay in alignment. I found soul. I was introduced to my soul back in 2017 2018, and with a specific modality. And I've been working with that modality very closely for the last 2 years, every day, not just closely, every day. And because I love it and resonated so much with me, so much so that I became a certified practitioner. And I just became certified, not just, but it was a 5 or 6 month process.
Wow. Okay.
And it was like going back to school, in a metaphysical way, which was very, very cool. And so I developed this, it was like metaphysical bodybuilding every day for 6 months. And that helped me stay in alignment this whole time, calm, centered. I do this daily practice. I have a specific journaling routine that I do every day. I having a morning ritual, that was really start of the key.
Absolutely. That's really huge. That's really huge, especially if you're thinking about what's going right instead of what's going wrong in the morning. Yeah,
absolutely. Starting your day with gratitude, even if that's where you start, start with something I am grateful for, and something, yes, I'm grateful to be alive and wake up and all the things. I have my house and a roof and a food and the normal stuff that of course we're going to be grateful for, and go deeper than that. I'm grateful that I can still laugh. I'm grateful that I allowed the tears to come. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. So gratitude is one part of my journal routine. It's one of 4 sections of things that I really focus on. And I meditate. I connect with my soul every morning and through the day to check in. I'm guided when I write. So really having that ability to get connected, and having been introduced 2 years ago to my soul, and having a specific structured practice. And I was already doing a morning routine. I've already set that boundary for the world. And as a photographer, I shoot events, so I'm traveling a lot. I've been all over the world. And so some days it's, hey soul, I'm in the shower. I'm, just checking in on the fly, what you got for me? But it's something. And I actually had an experience pretty early on in this COVID experience where I went to a big box store. I was in the garden center, and the earth was calling me big time at the beginning of this. It still is now. So I planted a garden. So I was looking for whatever I was looking for. And I went into the store, got whatever else I needed, and came out to check out at the garden center. And the cashier said, she exhaled. She went, Oh, it was so nice to just watch you walk around earlier. Like, okay. She says, you just look so calm. And it was just so refreshing to just watch you, that aura around you was just calmness. And I laughed because I'm a giggler. So I said, yeah, I bet you're probably not seeing very much of that lately. There was such a heightened fear and level of anxiety that it's palpable. When I go out as an empath, oh my God, I feel everybody's everything. And so I put on my energetic shields to protect myself so I don't absorb any of that. And so I teach people those things as well, to get that alignment, to stay centered and grounded. And not to say that I haven't shed the tears. I have, and it's okay to allow them to come. It's not okay to wallow in it and stay in it and be in it forever.
Right.
If you're in an emotion, a negative emotion for more than, I think it's like 6 seconds, you're making the choice to stay there.
Exactly. And, I think if you come from a place where you see this as more of a challenge rather than despair, like, I can't find any toilet paper. Well, I'm bound to determined to find some. So, and laugh at, like, why is it that all the toilet paper is gone? Like, this has nothing to do
so
with
weird,
anything,
yeah.
I know. But just laughing about it, instead of being upset about it. Some days I felt like, gosh, I'm actually having a good time during this time, and I feel kind of guilty, but doing the work has really helped take the edge off everything that's been going on. Otherwise, I think I probably would have been like my old self and having panic attacks and major bouts of depression and crying and being overwhelmed. And yeah.
You know what? I really looked at this as an opportunity. My money maker is photography. That's where my business was. For the majority, I work for a local magazine. I've been shooting forever. That's what my networking people knew me as. And I was, kind of slowly coming out of the spiritual closet, as it were. And that has just shown me, like, that's what's needed right now. And that's what I really felt called to bring forward more, because I saw that heightened anxiety and fear and anger and all of that anger and the protesting. It's not the protesting, but the riots stemmed from all the fear they've been like cooping up for the 4 months previous.
Like a cork under the water that just let go.
Yeah. You just keep shoving it down. And, we aren't taught, especially in the United States, we aren't taught to feel, to let the feelings come through and acknowledge them and thank them for coming to our awareness, because they're a protection mechanism. They're survival. Like, we need them to help guide us where to go.
Right.
And, if I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling uncomfortable, like, all right, let me check in with that. Like, where's that stemming from? What's really happening here? Like, I totally have weird conversations like that in my head all the time. Like, wait a minute, like, why am I feeling so annoyed? Like, what is, I'm so aware of everything right now.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm like talking to myself all the time. Like, what was that? That just came up. And I'll examine it instead of react and going, like, where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? I'm going to have to just dig deep on that one,
Right. And, allowing for that is what helps create our happy, more positive outlook on life. Is like, okay, I see that yucky emotion, and I'm going to hang out with it for a little bit. Like, let me see where this takes me. What does this mean? Where's the source of this? And when you do that, it disappears. It's amazing.
Right. If you can dig deep enough and realize, well, is this coming from belief that really doesn't serve me? And okay, this is the belief, and it's silly, that belief, and then it's gone.
Right. It's like, that's not even mine. I don't even believe that anymore. Right. Absolutely.
Yep. So, do you have anything that you can share with the listeners today?
So absolutely, I have a gift for you all. One of the most fun things I do are intuitive soul-to-soul readings.
Ooh,
and what that
nice.
involves, it's so fun.
I want one.
Yay! Yes, let's do it. We'll schedule it.
Okay.
And I'm giving you a $75 off gift. So it's only $25.
Oh, nice.
And it's a fabulous experience I ask that you come with 1, 2, or 3 questions, 3 max questions of, if something is challenging you in your life, if you're wondering about a job or, how to handle a situation. It's been really interesting. I am just open to receiving. I'm a channel. I've been one my whole life, as I realized more and more as I got older.
We all really are, if we can tap into it.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes. Some people are more open to allowing it through, but dreams, people coming to you, and you're like, absolutely, perfect point. So during these Soul to Souls, I've actually had a couple relatives of people who have passed on come through to offer support in whatever their question is. And I create a safe container so that only the supportive beings who are looking out for our highest good can come through.
Yeah.
And because we want good information, and I have ways of confirming that what I'm interpreting is correct and that we're on the right path. I have brought people to tears of joy, of surprise, of, one woman was like, I said, you've got a really big, like she was showing up as like this warrior princess and this real tough exterior. The very next vision was her holding a kitten. And I was like, you've got a really big, soft, squishy heart, don't you? And she's like, yeah, I don't really show that to anybody. Yeah. And it's really interesting and fun the way the information comes through. Sometimes I hear things, feel things, whatever I'm guided to share or guided to help you tap into is the experience. And so it's an intuitive reading. It's a soul to soul because I do it with your permission. And because I work with soul, I connect on a soul level.
Yeah. And
they're just really fun. So it's only $25 and it's 30 to 60 minutes. Some of them have gone to an hour and a half. It really just depends on how much information comes through.
And you do that over Zoom or phone, or does it matter?
Doesn't really matter. I've actually done it over Facebook Messenger.
There
typing.
You go. Okay. Oh.
Energy.
Wow. It goes through. Yeah.
It's cool. Energy is energy. If I get permission, of course, because there's human free will and I don't do anything without permission and I create that space, their walls don't border anything.
So what's the best way for them to get that discount?
So I have a special link just for you guys.
Okay.
It's ChristinaStewartPhotography.com/happy.
All right.
Yeah.
Can remember that.
And
my last rewind and listen to it again if you don't get it.
Well, my last name is spelled Stuart. So ChristinaStewartPhotography.com/happy.
All right. Great. So one more thing before we go is, can you give the listeners a happy hack, which is a tool or tip that they can try today to start their journey on creating happy now?
Absolutely. We talked a little bit earlier about gratitude, and that's always my first thing with my clients and people just don't have to be my client. Just any conversation. If anybody's having a challenge, I'm like, go to the gratitude. Go to the gratitude. I've made more money sitting on my back porch, meditating and journaling for 2 hours than I have in any other activity that I've done. Like, it's crazy. So one really fun way of shifting, it takes 21 days to create or break a habit. As I've learned from my business coach, Bert Oliva. And he taught me how to do it's called a gratitude jar. And I've always I've had gratitude journals. I've had all kinds of different versions of gratitude practices. And this is my favorite. Every night for 21 days. Have a jar. It can be a Tupperware container. It can be a Ziploc baggie. It doesn't have to be a jar.
A container of some
sort. A container of some sort. If you travel a lot, I carried a Ziploc bag of them with me. And just have a stack of sticky notes, Post-its, little scraps of paper. And every night before you go to bed, write down one thing that you're grateful for. Fold it up, stick it in the jar. Every night for 21 days. Then you're going to be amazed just by that, how your life changes and your attitude, because you start looking for things to write down. Mm-hmm. And you'll start looking and you'll be like, you'll get to the end of the day and you're like, well, I have more than one. Like, I could fill up 5 sticky notes. So stick them in your gratitude jar. After the first 21 days, the second set of 21 days, pull out in the morning one of those slips of paper and read. So you're reminded of the things you're grateful for. So you're starting, yeah. So you're starting your day with gratitude, and not just gratitude in general. It's gratitude for specific things that you've already experienced. And so it's that reminder of, wow, I really had a great month.
Right.
So yeah, gratitude. The gratitude jar is a fun one. And you can do it with kids. It's great to do with the kids. And it's a fabulous way of teaching them.
I hear doggies.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm like, see, they'll be quiet.
They're happy dogs.
Yeah, they're fabulous. They've been my entertainment for the whole 4 months. But sharing that gratitude, teaching your kids to have that practice is a lifelong gift you can give them.
And employees. I mean, I have my team every morning. Their first thing that they email everybody on the team is 3 things they're grateful for. And they're really
awesome.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what a way to create a positive work environment. That's fabulous. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, and I even ask them, is this something you want to continue? And they're like, yes, please. I don't want to stop. And I don't even have to ask them to do it anymore. They just they do it. Even when I'm on vacation, they're like sending it out.
Aww.
Okay.
I love
so it. Yes. So thank you so much, Christine, for joining me. You had so many juicy advice for the listeners today. I don't think anybody could walk away from this episode not having a little lift in their spirit. So thank you so much for coming, and I would definitely love to have you back on the show again soon.
Oh, it would be my honor. You're welcome, and thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun.
All right, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening to episode 18 of the Create Happy Now podcast with Christina Stuart. If you like today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and review, and you can get a free meditation by yours truly by going to the link in the episode description as my thanks to you. On our next show, Bill Bruner will be back. Bill is all about joy. So much so, he wrote 300 articles on the subject and a blog called Journey to Joy. Catch Create Happy Now on YouTube with podcast recordings and additional videos. Keep a lookout for Create Happy Now Facebook group, courses, books, and more. If you would like to stay on top of Create Happy Now creations, subscribe to the podcast and YouTube channel so you can start your journey to Create Happy Now. You can also find Create Happy Now on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, Stitcher, Deezer, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio.